moderator of this
Ďakujem
session,
pekne.
Ludmila. Thank you very much.
Vás vítam ešte raz na
Welcome again to this
hanusovských prednášok a
last
diskusí.
lecture from
Verím, že
Hanus's
ste na tomto
days.
pódiu, teda v tomto priestore už počuli veľmi veľa
I hope that
zaujímavých
you
a veľmi
heard
podnetných
very
myšlienok tento
interesting
týždeň. My by sme chceli
ideas
v tomto započatom
this week,
pokračovať.
and we would like to continue with
Vlastne
it.
v tej téme novembra, ktorý je veľmi výrazný
This
aj
topic of November,
v tohtoročnom
which is very
v tomto ročníku
significant
Hanusových dní chceme
in
pokračovať aj
Hanus's days
tým
this
našim
year.
príspevkom, keďže
We would like
určite
to
viete,
continue
že
with,
my už máme síce slobodu
also with our
výdobytú
lecture.
nejakých 30 rokov,
And
lenže
we
v
know
mnohých
that
krajinách ešte
we have a
kresťania
freedom
to
for
šťastie
30
nemajú
days,
a
but
práve
in other countries,
situácia sa naopak zhoršuje.
the Christians
Takže
that do
dnešnou
not have this
hosťom,
freedom, and
v tejto
the
diskusii
situation
je,
is
otec
even
Emmanuel
worsening.
Yousaf. Len vám ho v krátkosti
Our
predstavím.
guest is Father
Otec
Emmanuel Yousaf,
ako
Mani,
ho všetci v
or
Pakistane
Mani.
takmer volajú.
They called
sa
him
narodil
Mani.
v roku
He was born
1950,
in 1950,
čiže budúci rok vlastne
so
oslaví
next year
70-ku.
he will turn 70,
Určite by ste to na ňo nepovedali.
and
však?
I'm sure you wouldn't say
Už
that
celý týždeň
about
vlastne
him.
chodí po Slovensku a
So he is
prednáša
touring
o
the whole
situácii,
week
kresťanov v
in
Pakistane.
Slovakia, and
Už
he
sme
talks
navštívili
about the
niekoľko
situation of
slovenských
Christians in
miest a
Pakistan.
musím povedať,
We
že naozaj
visited
je vo veľmi
different
dobrej
Slovak
kondícii.
cities, and
Takže
he is in a very good
z jeho
state
záľubu
and shape.
spomeniem,
And
napríklad box,
so he's, for example,
ktorému sa
doing
venoval vo
boxing.
svojej mladosti.
When he was
Vlastne
young,
doteraz
he used to do this,
hovorí,
and
že sa tomuto boxu venuje,
and he is
pretože
still
teda v oblasti ľudských
doing
práv a hlavne
boxing, but in a
práv,
different
ktoré sa
way.
týkajú náboženskej slobody.
It pertains to
Takže možno by som ešte dodala, že vlastne už ako 14-ročný
religious freedom.
a vlastne po 10 rokoch sa z neho stal kňaz.
After 10 years, he was ordained as a priest, and much of his effort is dedicated to protection of Christians in Pakistan.
Vydobíjaniu toho práve žiť
And
svoju vieru vlastne v krajine, v ktorej sa
he
narodili
helps
a
them
ktorá im právom
to
patrí. Takže
gain this freedom
privítajte, prosím, so
of
mnou
religion in this
potleskom
country.
otca Yousafa.
Thank you.
So please welcome Father Yousaf.
Thank you very much, Ludmila. My dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I feel honored to be present here before the lovely audience and among the lovely audience this evening. I feel pleasure to share my thoughts with you. And before I share it, I would like to thank my friends, the director of the Aid to the Church in Need, Mr. Miroslav, and my friend here who is introduced me to you, Ludmila. They were the force behind bringing me here. It took a while, but only last moment. That means I was to fly on Saturday, and I got my visa on Friday. So I was lucky to come over here, and I have traveled a lot now. I think I know more of, still names I have to, I know more of your country than I think you most probably have visited. I have already visited 7 cities. So, and I'm really seeing you have a beautiful country, beautiful people, and very, very kind and friendly people. Coming to my topic today, this evening, I will be sharing about Pakistan and about my work in Pakistan, and then the thematic areas on which we work. First, let me start about myself. I'm the National Director of Catholic Bishop Conference, which is a National Commission for Justice and Peace. We work for the minorities, not only for the Christians, but minorities at large. Minorities mean Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, Parsis, and other small ones. That is our focus from our offices. We have one national office, which is in a city called Lahore. It's a very historical city. I also come from there. And I am the national director of that office. And we have 7 dioceses, Catholic dioceses, and we have offices all around Pakistan. So we have about 2 to 3 people working full-time in these offices. And we coordinate and we have lots of programs going on throughout Pakistan. The programs are geared towards everybody, all the community, which I'll come back a bit later. First of all, about Pakistan. Pakistan is an Islamic state, is a Muslim country. Formerly it was not. We got independence in 1947 from the British rule, and it was formerly India. So India, which is known as Bharat, and they became independent, and we became independent at Pakistan. And when we got the independence, it was not in the mind of our founder father to have Islamic State. Let's be very, very clear, which many of the Muslims don't agree today. But in his speeches, he has said that we are all citizens. The founder father of our nation was Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. That was, Muhammad Ali Jinnah is the name. Quaid-e-Azam means big leader, the biggest leader of Pakistan. But unfortunately, he died very soon, just after the birth of the country. And he has said in one of his statements that we are all Pakistanis. You can go to your mosque, you can go to your temples, you can go to the churches. The state will have no interference in your life of religion and of your faith. So, from the very beginning, very start, he was very, very clear what kind of country he wanted. And that was a secular state, very much in his mind. But the fundamentalist, and extremists, from the very beginning, they were also very much against this founder father. They said, no, he is no believer. We are Muslims, all Muslims have become in Pakistan, and that's why there should be Islamic State. But he resisted, he said this to everyone, and it is very much on the record and in the history of Pakistan. So eventually what happened? With the pressure of these extremists, with the pressure of these fundamentalists, the country becomes Islamic State of Pakistan. So everybody, all the laws and everybody has to follow the Sharia laws. It started from there. And the country all of a sudden, was given the cover of Islam. But I tell you that I'm repeating again, that was not in the mind of the leaders of that time, especially the founder father, in the mind of founder father, that he wanted an Islamic State. Pakistan is 95% Muslims, and about 5% are Christians. 5% are minorities. Out of 5% minorities, there are 3% Christians, 2% Hindus and others. So you can see, and out of this 3% also, there are 2% Catholics and 1% Protestants. It's a very small, tiny minority in Pakistan. What happened that after the constitution was changed and more Sharia laws came into the constitution, and that was really hurting us as Christians. I will just talk about Christians and the minorities too, overall minorities also. They wanted that we should also follow these, laws, which we ought to follow, yeah. But we can't become Muslims. We are not Muslims, we are Christians. And we profess our own faith. But then again, as we moved forward in this country, what happened, that there was a coup done by Ziaul Haq, that was the president, army, and he took over from the civilian government to military rule. And at that moment, the Russians attacked Afghanistan, and they took over Afghanistan. And Americans use our military regime and the people over there by sending lots of arms against the Russians. So we were supposed to fight the Russians, staying in Pakistan. But meantime, there was about 3 million refugees who crossed over from Afghanistan to Pakistan. And still, I think almost 2 million are still there. They married and they are doing their business over there, and they don't want to move back. So when I'm using the word we, means Pakistani community at large, everybody, and the regime, and the politicians, everybody was asked to, join. It was a jihad, so to say, a jihad against the Russians. They are no believers, non-believers, and we have to fight them out from that country. So not only the Afghanis who were trained and became Talibans, the word Taliban, at that moment, this Taliban word was created, and also it was a kind of an army, a jihad. Jihad, let me explain jihad. You may know it also. But jihad is a holy war. Holy war. So the holy war was against Islam and against the non-believer. That means people from Afghanistan, even Pakistanis were also trained by our own army in order to fight in Afghanistan, because they are non-believers and we are believers, and this was a jihad done against. So the Russians had to leave. I don't want to go in detail a lot, but Russians had to leave, and then there was a chaos also in Afghanistan. There was an infight of all the warlords. Now, who has the strength? Who is the big leader? So among the Talibans also there was a fight. Eventually they had Taliban government over there, and that has disturbed Pakistan very much. This, first of all, our young generation was really was disturbed, and disturbed in the sense the families were disturbed. We didn't have only drugs coming. We had drugs, but not in that easily available. But when the Russians left, the Afghanis have lots of drugs there, and the drugs came and smuggled into Pakistan, and our younger generation, got addicted to it, and sad is going on. The second thing was there was lots of weapons available, because the Americans had given lots of weapons like Kalashnikov and other things, and it was, these things were readily available in Pakistan. And you see, there was a shift again by Ziaul Haq. He was become kind of not only president, kind of imam for the Muslims. And he changed one of the law which is called Blasphemy Law. Blasphemy laws were already existing, but they were not, that strong or so. But all of a sudden, he changed, blasphemy laws, in 80s. I explain what blasphemy law. I'll come back to what we do here later. Blasphemy law means anyone saying anything against their Prophet Muhammad, he or she ought to be hanged or killed. No? The law doesn't say to be killed, but hanging means sure shot. The punishment for this is of hanging, And also anyone who is desecrating the holy book, Quran, tearing it, burning it, throwing on the floor, is a blasphemy. It's a blasphemy. And for this also, the penalty is imprisonment for life or, death penalty. So all of a sudden, when it changes from 80s before, there was hardly any case of blasphemy in Pakistan. Hardly any. Now, with this shift, people had a very, very easy weapon in their hand to use this law against us. And they have used it time and time again. And falsely people were, threatened. And also people were asked to even admit in many cases that you have done blasphemy. But our people say, why? If we know that the penalty is death, are we stupid enough to do it? But they enforced and forcefully abused this law, and law has been, misused time and time again. I give you one example and a few more examples, so that will make you understand what is this law has done to our community in Pakistan. So the things were not that bad. They were. Discrimination was there against our people. Discrimination was there about our children. And discrimination was there in the job places. And we couldn't get the higher jobs. We could get only low and menial jobs. Yeah, discrimination. But this particular law has disturbed the Christian community a lot because they have used this law. And a case, I think most of you have heard, is a case of Asia Bibi. She was a literate woman working with her friends in the village, as usual. Our women folk also work in the villages together with other women, and she was also working for a very long time. And all of a sudden, what happens, that she drank, very minor thing, she drank, like this glass is here, this glass. And she drank from one glass water because it was very hot. In that glass, she was not supposed to drink. Why? Because this glass belonged only to the Muslims. So to say, this is a Muslim glass, and I can't also drink from this glass because it's a Muslim glass, belong to Muslim, and only Muslims can take water from there. And she was thirsty and she just drank, and they blamed her. I said, why did you do this? If you wanted to drink, you should have gone home, brought your own glass to drink. So quarrel started. Very, for you and for me also, it's a very, very small incident, but for them it was big, So the quarrel started. She also started fighting, and then these other women, Muslim women, threatened that, okay, we will teach you a lesson. They said that. Most of these cases, they have threatened our Christians. We will teach you lesson now. And after 3-4 days, the mob comes into the house of Asia Bibi. And that mob attacks Asia Bibi, beaten her up, beaten her children up, and they were about, she's lucky that she's alive, I tell you. I'll give you a few examples what happened to our own other brothers and sisters. So she was lucky. The police came at once, took her from their hands, and took her to the police station and straight away registered a case without any investigation whether she has said something or not. So once the case starts, then that means you got to go to the court. And we had to go to the court, and the court, the first lower court, that's called session court, gave her, death penalty. So court also said she is. Why? Because courts also nowadays are threatened by these extremists. Okay, we know she has done it, and all of us know that she has committed blasphemy, which was not true at all. Again, they were misusing this law to threaten this particular family and the family at large in the village. This is what happens. So she got death sentence in the lower court. Then we had to go to the higher court. And the higher court, she also got death sentence. Higher court means really high. It's quite high. To get over there also becomes very, very difficult to go to the Supreme Court and then. But she was lucky enough that, of course, this is the third step. So we went into the Supreme Court, and thank God that she was released by those judges. There were 3 judges bench of the Supreme Court, and she got released, and they said she is innocent. She has not committed blasphemy. You have falsely accused her. But she, poor lady, had to suffer, 10 years, long time in the prison. And always threatened over there also that anybody can kill. That has happened to many of our people, that even inmates of this prison have killed these boys, hanged them also. So she is luckily, she is away from Pakistan because she couldn't stay in Pakistan. And what happened after that? The extremists had many rights, many rights, and shouting for Asia Bibi, death to Asia Bibi. They blocked all the roads in Pakistan, and Pakistan came to stand still for a few days. The extremists and their ulmas, they went and shouting. They didn't stop over there only, but they also threatened the judges who released Asia Bibi. And they threatened also death to these judges. So you can understand and imagine how this people, a small minority of people, have threatened our people. And we will see, I'll give you some pictures here. You see one picture there, I think this is better. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. You'll see mob comes, and every case is they blame one person, but then who suffers? Not only one person, but the whole locality of 100 families. They burn, they torture, they kill, and they burn them alive also. Many places you see how many pictures are there, plenty of them. There's very, very long list of pictures. I have not purposely put the coffins. We have seen many coffins. We have carried many coffins of our people have been killed inside the church, 19, 20 of them. And there was suicide bombing in our churches, you see, and suicide bombing in one church. There about 127 people were killed, and again 250 were injured there. And on the side, you see one of the churches here. Two churches at time, they had suicide bombing inside the church, and many people were also killed. Coming back to blasphemy law, this has really disturbed the whole community. And this is real persecution for our people. We have gone to the government. Now coming back to our office where I'm, we go to the government for many times to please do something about this law. Make a change. We know we can't repeal it. They can't repeal it because of the pressure of the extremists. We know that. But we say, actually, you should, stop the misuse of this law because it's disturbing us and also disturbing everybody. Because you blame one and don't allow him or her to go to the court, and you want to do your own justice. You become lawyers, you become judges on the road, and you have killed our people. So many of them. And one, I would like to mention, one couple. You will be sad to know, for us also, it's very sad to see all this happening. One young couple in their 20s, and the lady was expecting 6 months pregnant. They blamed because they had little fight again, and they blamed, oh, you have said something against our prophet, and they didn't let them go to the police or report or so. They just took them, both of them, and put them in the furnace where they were baking bricks in the fire. And these both of them, and third one, their child, were burned to alive there and then. So this is the state of affair by these extremists. Very sad, but let me tell you, that we are trying, as I'm a Catholic priest, and through our office and the community at large, Christian community, we are trying with the government, first of all, to do something especially about this law. There are other things, it will take too much time. There are other things on which we are dealing with. But this particular is really disturbing. The other thematic area on which we work and engage the government is the bias in the curriculum. The same thing is there. Bias in the curriculum of, books, curriculum books. And the books are their loss of hatred about Christians, about Hindus, and we are trying. And a small child is learning from the very beginning, both Christian and Muslim, studying in the same school, we are Muslims. The text says we are all Muslim, which is not true. Christian children also be sitting there. Hindu children are going. And when they go home, they question their father and mother. And this has happened, and the parents have told us. I'm, as I said, I'm a Catholic priest, also in a parish, working in a parish. They come and say, this our boy or this girl has come and said, oh, father or mother, aren't we Christians? You were telling us we are Christians. But in the schools, they are telling us that you are Muslim. So from the very beginning, these people would like, in those textbooks also, to, to make already a child feel that we are not wanted. We are persecuted, our own child also is persecuted. In the higher education also, also, friends always ask, if they come to know he or she is a Christian, they'll say, okay, you become Muslim, because the Muslim is the religion. Again a torture, again a persecution. But we have asked our children also who are gone, they are also young. So I said, to be prudent, don't go to any kind of religious discussion. It's not needed. Yeah, but I would like to say, it may give a picture that all of them are bad. All of them are extremists. That's not true. And when I say all, that means I'm talking about my Muslim brothers and sisters. I'm going to call them now brother and sisters. They are. I am very, very friendly. And our people also very friendly with these Muslims. And our children, when I grew up, we were friends. We were in the same school, had no trouble. But all of a sudden, as I explained to you, how things changed. And this is all due to this army or generals or our politicians. The things have really disturbed the whole country. So I would like to say that, they're not all bad people. They're very, very friendly. But the problem is that when we ask them to be on our side, then really they are very quiet. So we don't need our friends who are quiet. They have to, but we know why they are quiet. Because again, those extremists will say, okay, you Muslim, you are becoming friends of Christians. Why should you become? This is the mindset of these extremists. Although they are very, very small, tiny minority, but they are very, very vocal, shouting, killing. For them, killing means nothing, I tell you. That's what they have done on many cases of blasphemy. I've just touched one case of Asia Bibi and that. There are many cases. And if we can come to some picture, they have hanged them also in the prison. They have killed them also in the prison. And Asia Bibi was also in a danger. So she stayed, or they kept her in a very secluded place, lonely place, that nobody can go and do anything, or even give poison to her. So at least why she was saved? Because it was highlighted in the world. You have spoken, your country has spoken, your politicians have done something, and also throughout the world, Holy Father came up strongly many times. And Holy Father even met one girl and the husband in Rome. So he called them and they also went to see him. So this is the state of affair in Pakistan, and we are really very much disturbed. But let me tell you, and I always say, I'm going to repeat, you don't have to. The other day was in the Greek Catholic seminary, and I said, don't feel pity about us. Don't feel pity, no. By the grace of God, our Christian community has a very, very strong faith. In spite of bomb blast in the churches, in spite of all the killings due to this law, due to the law, lots of houses burned. People burnt alive in their houses. And I tell you, people don't, miss the church at all. They will come in bigger number. Bigger number. I'm a parish priest, I know it. And you say, how? They will be scared to come to the church. Naturally. Humanly speaking, I will be scared to go on the altar. And my people will be scared, when there was a bomb blast here, there, killing, so we're scared. But I tell you, we are not scared. That strength comes from Jesus to all of us. Because he has said, in his name, we will be persecuted. We will be killed, which we are feeling it. We have the clear-cut example. And that, but he promised that he will be with us all the time, till the end of days. He is with us. And that's what my community, I feel. He is with us, and we have not to be scared. We have not to be afraid. So as I say, they come in a bigger number in the churches, which is also, as a priest, for me, is faith boosting. For me, as a priest. And thank God, people have such a strong faith. What we need and require from you to really pray for our country, first of all, on the whole, that the mindset of these people change. And we also pray for the people who have even gone. Even the church, I said, okay, let's pray that they have done suicide bombing. Let's pray for them also, that kind of a mindset changes. Because that's the teaching of Jesus Christ. We don't have to blame anybody. Even your own, he has said, yes, that's the gospel truth, that you, pray for your enemies also, which is very difficult. If somebody is killing so many people in the churches, and also you misusing the blasphemy law, killing and burning, it's very, very hard. But that's the reality. That's the reality we got to face. And we, as I say, that we have not to be scared. Our people are not scared. They come to the church with their family, with their children. And I would like to say, please pray for us. Don't feel pity about us. I'm repeating it. But pray. Yes, that's our strength. That's the strength of our friends in Pakistan and you friends. I've made new friends now here. I've traveled 7 cities. I've met maybe thousands of people now in the churches. I have a group like this. And I see mostly, I'm nothing against the older ones. The young ones are here. Very good. Please keep to the faith. Keep to your faith. God has given you the opportunity in this country. You have also undergone this kind of difficulty. I know elderly people have gone. 30 years ago, you have just celebrated, that you were freed from the Russians, and what stories I have heard is terrible. I can compare, I can understand. Your community also had lots of persecution, but you survived. But that I will pray for this, that this faith can grow more and more, both in the old, young, middle-aged, women, children, everybody. Because you also become a strength. Now, when I go, from here, I go with a very, very strong faith that I've come to a Christian country, And I was just asking we were just in a shopping mall. I said, oh my God, you already started Christmas here. That gives you a feeling, very good feeling. For me it's a good feeling. Why not? Although everybody here will say, oh, okay, this is business. So it doesn't matter. It gives you happiness. Why not? Why not? Celebrate it. It's a big day. And our people also celebrate in a big, big way. You'll see stars stars practically all on top of the houses, and also cribs and Christmas trees in the houses. Of course, churches we have, but inside the houses. So, this why I'm telling you, we this is our country, I always say. Pakistan is my country as a Christian Pakistani. And Muslims have their country as Muslim Pakistanis. Let's be clear on it. I tell them, I said, okay, we have said this. I'm not saying it here only. I said, this is our country. Doesn't matter. You want to disturb it? Try. It doesn't matter. Go on. But by the grace of God, with His strength, we will carry on. And I would like to tell you that many of them tried to convert us to Islam. Yes, conversion has taken, by force in some places. Abduction of our girls. And forcefully converted. Same day forcefully married to a Muslim. And then threatening them. Abduction, you just took from the home because they were working for the landlord and their sons or whatever. They just took them and straight away they made them Muslim and threatening them. If you run away from here, you will be killed, your family will be killed, and whole of your clan will not live. That kind of a threats are given to this. But otherwise, we don't have mass conversion. No mass conversion from Christians. We are small, but they try that we become Muslims. But we are Christians, and by the grace of God, with His strength, we will always remain Christian. And I always end with that Mother Mary. Mother Mary, I've seen beautiful pictures here, mosaics in many of your churches. Beautiful. I'm full of now. I have got some gift also. I was just looking for Nitra, beautiful church inside. I remember the name. I have to still get used to the names here. But so I'm going away with a good feeling, and my faith is boosted. And I'm going to share this faith to our people, and I'm telling you, their faith also will be boosted, that I am come from a Christian country. Catholics are in majority, I know. Don't want to go into that kind of, because we also believe that we work together, both Christians and Catholics and other churches, Protestant churches. We are very much together in our own difficulties and in our struggles. May God bless you all. And also in the end, again, my friends from Aid to the Church in Need, Miro, and my friends here, they are working very hard for us here and throughout the world also. It's an international organization, Aid to the Church in Need, and they are supporting our many projects. You see, many projects of seminaries, making priests, nuns, schools, and there's a very long list, and formation of young people. And that has boosted us, and especially the church. I would like to add, it may sound that we are scared to do anything. They may do anything against us. We are ready with their help and your help. You have supported, the community back home in Pakistan. And churches, we build the churches. They want to stop us all the time. They want to stop, not to build, but we will. We go on building, But thank God, we, with your prayers and with your help and our organization, we'll still go on and on and on. Though the way is long, but we will not stop. We will go on to this and the way goes to Jesus, and Jesus is life, and we would like to have that life also in it. And Jesus will always protect us. And as I said, Mother Mary is a big help to us all and to church in Pakistan. We have big devotion to Mother Mary. I also have big devotion to Mother Mary, and that strength also comes from her, because she was strength for Jesus, very much a strength to Jesus. As a mother, that's why he walked till the Calvary. So she also took the cross, I believe, cross herself. It's not only Jesus. Jesus, yes, he died on the cross, but I don't know how many times Mother have died, that in his life. And when looking at Jesus must be very difficult. But then she collected the disciples, made them one, and from there the message of Jesus, of love, of joy, of peace, life everlasting, and of justice, and of salvation came from Jesus, and we believe in it. May God bless you all, and thank you very much. Any question, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you very much, Father.
Let me, I wanted to show, but I thought maybe, see, whatever I have just now said about education, bias in the education, we do these publications, okay? Our office does this, many publications. And we go and give to the government also. Again, we are not scared, They don't want to see these publications, I tell you. They don't like it, but we will not stop. We have many. One is about the curriculum and whatever, about the education. The other, we write, every year. Sorry, my friends are also sitting here. Yeah, and this is a publication. Every year we do the incidents which has taken place throughout the year. Like this is the report on 2018 throughout Pakistan. Not only the Christians, the minorities at large. Okay, so this also goes in there, and with the recommendation, as I said, with the recommendation about blasphemy law, and also recommendation about the education. So we get engaged with the higher authorities and with the government.
Veľká vďaka otcovi Yousafovi.
Thank you very much, Father Yousaf.
Teraz prichádza čas na otázky.
Now there is a question time, so please you can use Slido, ask a question and like the question, and move them up, and there will be a volunteer with a microphone, so everyone who wants to ask a question, please, you can do it now.
The first question I would like to ask, thank you very much for your lecture. You're speaking about Islam and about the extremist side of Islam. So I would like to ask how, regarding this extremism and the hatred, spreading of hatred and the religious intolerance, how much is it an issue of politics and how much is it an issue of the religion itself?
Yeah, very good question. You see, for Muslims and for Islam, or let's say, I'm just talk about, concentrate on Pakistan, religion and politics, they go hand in hand. They are not separate. So when you see this, then even, like I mentioned one name, Ziaul Haq, the general who took over, he used Islam. I'm not saying it, but later on, first he was martyred. Just listen, I tell you, very good example. He was killed in a plane crash, okay? Plane crash. And then he became martyr. But after a few years, nobody is calling him martyr. because everybody is saying that he has really disturbed the Pakistan. But still, politicians and all of them use religion. So he also used religion to make jihadis. Jihadis are those who fight, holy war. So he also introduced these laws unnecessarily. It was not there that strong, but it became strong people. So to answer your question, yes, so you can't. We separate here, especially in the West, and that politics and religion is separate issues. So, but not over there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So they use also then the extremists for their own gain, both army and politicians.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there is a question connected to my question. It's a question from the audience. If Islam is a peaceful or a violent religion? So the religion, the core of the religion itself, maybe, is it more peaceful or violent?
I think they themselves say that Islam is very peaceful religion, and we believe in peaceful. But these are the people and the mindset who twist from the Quran. They may read line by line, verse by verse, and same thing. They will say, okay, jihad, we have to do jihad. Okay? We have to do this. And this is a blasphemy law, is also from Quran. But I tell you, their scholars also disagree. You see? They also disagree. They say, no, this is not. And then they had to run away for their life with their families. Can't stay in Pakistan. There are people like this, So, all the religion, for me also, they are using it, So if you say Islam is all bad, I think it's too much stressing, too much saying, Okay. Christianity is very, very good here, but what about Christians in this? You may have that mindset also, who brings hatred. Why? Jesus' teaching is different, so I, as Father Mani, brings hatred. So is that Jesus' teaching or that's my teaching? So that has to be seen like that. So that's not Jesus' teaching. The love, care, that's Jesus' teaching. And I always say, I don't have to use Kalashnikov to convert anybody. Jesus never said that. And Jesus loves everybody, and that is the religion we are following. And if we have to follow, the baptism which we have taken is a baptism of Jesus, yes. Although we are suffering, but that's the reality of life. That's the religion we have to follow. And we have to follow Jesus, not my own wishes and whims. No. Then I'm at fault, as even a Catholic priest.
Thank you. Then maybe a question about the pressure of the extremists. You were mentioning that the extremists even block the whole town and you cannot enter, or when they start, even in the case of Asia Bibi, they blocked the capital, Islamabad. So when the pressure of the extremists is so intense and so strong, and also many judges are afraid of the extremists and of basically many people and even crowds rioting, then what kind of pressure can be an opposite, or does it have to be maybe a pressure from the inside of the country? Is it convincing the majority of the Muslims to help you, to stand on your side, or is it maybe also a pressure from the outside, from other countries, maybe a European Union, to stand for you?
Yeah, it's both. Within the country, I believe more within the country first. The pressure which we are trying, although we are, But we have engaged also the civil society in Pakistan, which are Muslims, very, very open-minded, you know. So we feel that the pressure which is to be exerted is first of all within, yes, we have to. And like-minded people, as I said, majority of them are not bad, but like-minded people, so then you go and have dialogue with them, even their ulmas. And we have seen in some places that that dialogue of life was done. It helped, although not so much, but I think that dialogue of life should go on and on and on. And as I said, the road is long, you know, maybe it may sound very ideal that it will be finished. No, but still we have to engage. Oh yes, and coming back, you know, I have gone for lobbying about this, especially about Asia Bibi. I want to tell you. But Asia Bibi also, I've gone all over. I have lobbying also about this blasphemy law. That yes, we need friend you like you from here, write to the government, you know, and also write wherever it matters, write to your politicians here who are engaged directly to the governments. And also lots of aid comes from Europe, from America, for many good works. It should carry on. I encourage that. But then, if the money is going, for example, for education of the poor people, the government should see to it that it is going to the right place, not in pocket of politician or anybody else, because lots of corruption there, lots of corruption. It should reach to the people concerned and those children, you know, whose mindset has to be changed, and they should exert that kind of pressure. Because there is a system, I don't want to be long, there is two systems of education. One is called madrasa. Madrasa is also a school run by these mostly radical or, you know, these people. There are about 25,000 madrasas throughout, in which they teach only Islam or Quran. We have no problem. But don't teach hatred then. There's a difference between teaching Islam and Quran in those. But then meantime they also, you know, teach. We know, and government says it openly. I'm not saying government is that. So, and the other system is a school system, regular public school system. There also, I told you, there are hate material. We are saying, okay, at least remove from these books, you know, the hate speech is there. Hate material is there. At least change that. So the children can grow with a free mind and kind of a better mind for each other. Oh yes, it's needed from the international community to, you know, speak out and say it to the government, you know. Yes. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So now we would proceed to more questions from the audience. One of them is very interesting.
Yeah.
Some person is asking that recently there have been supposedly many conversions of Muslims to Christianity in Muslim countries, and some of them are, they come along with miracles or some dreams. So can you confirm this from your experience?
Again, very tricky question. You know, I tell you, in Pakistan, I will not talk about any other country. In Pakistan, you know, if anybody converts to Christianity, you know, for them the fate is same what I was talking to you about. He or she will be killed. Because he has become infidel, apostasy is called, and nobody should be converted from Islam to any other religion, no, let alone Christianity. But they were conversion, let's say a few here and there, but they had to run away for their life. I know the families also. So that is, if that is the state of affair, we also don't encourage. People come, yes, they do come. Young one or someone in the family also. But they come to the churches also, not for conversion. One family, just to give you one, there's so many families, they come, please pray for us. Like one family on Tuesday is a St. Anthony's church. My church's name is St. Anthony's of Padua. And a big group of people come, Christians I'm talking about. There will be always some Muslim families, coming to the church. And when we are praying after the Mass, we lay our hands, they are also there. One family, is coming now regularly from quite far, outside to another country to pray for them. But I'm not going to convert them. Yes, I can. And even they said, give us the Bible. I said, please don't take it. Just please don't take me wrong. I said, no, it will be not. You are coming here, no problem. We don't have problem. We'll pray for your child. Child can't hear properly, yeah. And they said, this bigger child also. We went to the church, and there was a miracle. I said, yeah, miracles do happen because it's God who does. So I have given them a novena of St. Anthony's. They wanted something, so I just thought because we have, printed novena. I said, please, and they knew somebody told them about novena. And I said, please, you can pray. But I'm not going to ask them to go. Or even somebody who has come, I always say, yes, I always say, you become better Muslims, that I will consider or you will consider that you have accepted Christianity. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, then there is a question about immigration, or concretely, do you think Europe should receive Pakistan refugees, or is it better to support them from our homes?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this escaped my mind. Yeah, because of these troubles and killings and attacks on the community, 200 families, 300 families attacked or so. There was a time about 6-7 years ago, that people themselves, what little, we are very poor families, whatever little, maybe small house or something, they sold it and, they went away to Thailand and Sri Lanka. Okay, not big number, maybe 2,000 families, because I went to study. For me also it was something new, that people going from Pakistan as refugees outside. But I know some people have made money also, and I know the people also have done it. Okay, I want to be very, very blunt and straight. Our own people also have trafficking done because of these people. Then, they went to Thailand, where they are not accepted. They went to Sri Lanka, they can't work. A terrible moment. Families are in touch with me, but those were lucky. After 5 years, because I went to study over there, that is only once it has happened. Oh yeah, now they have gone. They expected that they may go within a month somewhere, without knowing, it's kind of jumping into to the well or whatever you want to call it, not knowing how deep is the water is or so. So after 5-6, yes, many have gone to America, they accept. And also the Catholic Church there is supportive. And I was in Canada, and Catholic Church again had gone and done the studies for Thailand. People, they are in a terrible state. Some have been imprisoned, the whole family, 5-6 family, in a very small room, they are there. Yes, Europe. I know about Holland. Netherlands has accepted. And Hungary also 1 or 2 families. And of course, Canada more and America. Europe here and there, yes. If can come, I tell you, they will work very, very hard because we are hard-working people. And I don't know now how many families are there, but I'm still doing lobbying for them, which I have not done here, but I'm doing. Sri Lanka also I went for studies. I met UNSCR over there, the office which works, and tried to convince them, expedite their process, which has taken very, very long. So 6-7 years. I'm in touch with his families. But I tell you, frankly, I will not promote that. If people on their own, which have gone from Pakistan, in a very legal way, get a visa, apply for asylum when you are there. I tell them, apply. But the problem is, they don't get in a normal way any visa. So young people have spent money, gone to this country, that country, or some been, like containers which there were Pakistanis, not so many Christians, but they have gone like that. So if your country can accept them, I will be more than happy. And they will not disturb here. They will work very, very hard. I'm talking about not from Pakistan. If somebody applies, yes. Because some people can't live. I don't want to be long. Now we are looking after a family, doing very well, middle-class family, accused of blasphemy because somebody wanted some money. Said, okay, give us the money. And he said, no, he gave little, but they demanded a lot of money from him because he was doing very well. And highly educated children, very bright children. One has done PhD in girl now. One has done MSc in America. He had the money to send him, but he was accused of blasphemy. They are looking, for their safety from one place to another. I know because I meet them regularly. So people like that, I have applied to I'm telling you, to the Americans, they are dragging, sorry to say, they are dragging their feet. Please, this one family I'm asking, I'm not asking, because they are in threat. And after Asia Bibi's case, things have become very, very bad for those who are accused. So this particular person, he studied in my school. Very bright, married, beautiful children, 3 daughters, 2 sons, and done very well and could give them good education. He's looking for a place. And I have approached the Americans. It's been 1.5 years. The poor, and we're trying to put them here and there. I said, you have to be careful. Of course. It's a trauma. Trauma never ends. He get again death sentence in lower court, and in the high court we were lucky, some or the other, that he was released from there. But he's no more released in the sense he's not free living in Pakistan, always under threat from the extremists.
Maybe one more question which is very related to the one that was asked. Also, regarding from the point of view of Europeans, what should be our answer to the religious extremism which also comes to Europe? So we have heard of many cases of terrorism and also bomb attacks and suicidal bombings and so on. So what should be our approach? There is also a lot of fear in the society, and that fear also causes the fear of the country itself, of the culture, yeah. Not of only of extremism, but also, of something that is not known to us. Yeah. So how should we discern what's right to do?
I think this answer has to come from you, from your side. What to do, you have accepted them, and that's on the lighter note. Yeah, again, it's very, very difficult, talk about this. When they are here, the Muslims, I know, they don't integrate, don't participate wherever they have gone. So I think, this is what my thing, you may take it or leave it, when you accept them and your government accept them, see to it that they are cared for very well. When I'm saying cared for, you should know who all are come here. They should have a mechanism, they may not be all bad, but 10 bad people coming who were fighting over there, then the government has the duty to really discern, make sure that they don't disturb you here. And secondly, I don't think you have to be scared. This is what I feel. If dialogue can be opened with them, not you directly, but the government also who has invited them, I think they should go thorough education about the culture here. Because they will not mix up, knowing them, with the culture over here, naturally. They have their own culture. Here you have another culture. But at least to do the acceptance. Don't come with a mindset that Christians, they are not the believers. I tell you, in Pakistan, they consider non-believers, these extremists I'm talking about, again. So if they come with that mindset, they would like to convert you all while you are here. So please, that's why I said, your children, your young one, live closely together as a family, and also according to the Bible and the teaching of Jesus, having strong faith, then nobody can touch, nobody. As I said, in spite of all the difficulties and all, we still go on and on and on. But yes, you have to be careful also. I mean, there are other also crimes are committed by the people over here. But at least when you're accepting, so you should know whom you are expecting. And if you feel he or she is unwanted person, I don't think he or she has the right to disturb coming from anywhere, so disturb the society over here. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now, Father, we would ask some questions from the audience,
Sure.
And if there are none, maybe we will take two more from Slido. Takže ak máte nejaké otázky a chcete sa spýtať...
So if you have any questions that you would like to ask directly, we have a microphone, so you can just raise your hand and you can ask any questions, and I'm pretty sure that Father Mani will be more than happy to answer. So feel free to ask.
Zatiaľ to vyzerá, že...
As of now, it seems that we are probably going to ask from Slido.
No, there must be. Why not? Please. Anyone.
Tak možno by sme zobrali, môžete si ešte premyslieť?
So maybe you can think about that. I'll give you one more chance a little bit later.
Okay. Tak zatiaľ sa ešte spýtame jedno.
So I'll ask one more question from the Slido.
So, Father, one more question from Slido. At the moment, is there any hope that the situation in Pakistan could be changed? And are the public authorities open to discussions about changing the Sharia law?
You see, you can't discuss Sharia law at all, because this is based on their holy book, Quran, and Sunnah. Sunnah is the saying of the Prophet Muhammad. So forget about changing anything on this. Yeah, what you can make, some procedural changes. And I go back to blasphemy law. They can be. How the misuse can be stopped. You are not talking about the repeal of this blasphemy law. What we are asking, please do something. The government can do this. There's not a problem. How to... And we are given, there's a long list, which we have given suggestions. For example, just give you one example. Now, if one is accused of blasphemy, what happens? The person, the accuser goes to their mosque, okay, to the imam. And the imam makes an announcement. They have a loudspeaker system when they go to call for the prayer, and it can be heard throughout the village. And there are so many mosques in one village. So one hears that some Christians has committed blasphemy. So other also, they name it because people know easily who is who in the villages. So other mosque also makes that announcement. So within no time, you see, there are 500, 1,000 people gathered in one family house. And they don't ransack only that family, and many people were killed, as I told you, and you have seen it there. Many houses were built. What we have asking the government, please, do something about it. Ask these imams, one who makes the speech or maybe announces this, I think he should be apprehended, called, and some laws should be made against this kind of a hate speech. It's a hate speech. But okay, one is, no, you accuse one. So by making this announcement, you're accusing not only one single person, you're accusing the whole community. And the mob doesn't know. They just come, they just heard that, oh, so-and-so committed blasphemy, so they don't know. And it's only later on, in case of the example I gave you of that couple, it's later on. Then nothing has happened. They have said nothing. But that was too late. You see, too late. There was no case registered. It's only, there is just a case in the heart of those mind of those people who came. They just burned them alive. So this is what we are. There are so many procedures we have seen. And another one also, if somebody is accused, put the accuser and the accused together then. Bring them both into the police station then. And then some higher. Don't register the case at once, because once the case is registered, that means you have to, do that whole process of court going, And that what we are. There's so many, so I don't want to be very. So we are engaged in book like this. We always give suggestions. There is discriminatory laws, and what we are asking the government that they should make the change. We are not asking for repeal of that law. No, that can't be repealed. So that will change. And then, again I'm repeating, that dialogue of life with the ulmas. Oh yeah, little change. You see, in the past, ulmas and their imams were not even listening to us. But once Down syndrome girl was accused of blasphemy, she was just 12 years old. And then, all of a sudden, that particular girl changed the mind of many, even imams. And they came on television to say, yeah, this is the misuse law. Don't misuse the law. And the judgment about Asia Bibi, very well written. I think if you can read English or so, but you can get the translation. Very well written judgment, quoting Quran, and also saying that anybody who's accusing and he has falsely accused, he should also get that punishment. I'm not asking, I'm not saying this, but I'm just saying even the court has come to that. So there is a shift in the mindset of the judge. Great of them, the judges, judges came up as a very nicely written verdict in case of Asia Bibi.
Thank you. Takže keďže čas sa pomaly naplňa, ešte teda splním sľub a dávam poslednú šancu.
Time is almost up, so now the last chance. You can ask a question.
Nech sa páči,
so please We have a question.
Asi každý už počul slovo džihad.
So everybody heard about jihad. As far as I know, there are certain rules. Can you please tell us more about these rules and tell us the view of Muslim, but not extremist, how common Muslim perceives this rule of Islam, jihad.
Tell us more about the rules of jihad and how what's the point of view of a good Muslim who really wants to live his religion in a good faith, and then of the extremist. What's the difference in viewing jihad between these two?
No, actually, we don't have to mix up these two, extremists and jihad. No, not at all. Jihad is a holy war. For example, good example, and you will understand, is of Afghanistan. Non-believers have attacked, so to say, Islam or the Muslims. And the Muslims should do the jihad against those non-believers. But what has happened, that individuals, you see, ISIS, these were the individuals, put up the gang together, and then that's not jihad. This in Pakistan also, they believe, they say it, and they say jihad, yes. If the government, Islamic government of Pakistan, say this is jihad and we are going to do it, then people are allowed, to do something. Otherwise not individuals. So extremists may say, oh, jihad, but they have come. Why they have come up with it? Because you have no word Talibans, okay? They were, Afghan Talibans were created against the Russians. And also our Pakistanis were also trained. But after the war was over, now we have Pakistani Talibans. They knew one thing only, to fight and kill. So they are in Pakistan. What to do about them? And they have taken another road. They even occupied these extremists. You will not believe, a small town. You name any town here. Somebody coming here, God forbids. Here, and occupy you all, the extremists. And the government is helpless. Your government is. But later on, government came up very strongly. Because they don't have the political will. That's again we use it. They don't have the political will to stop there and then. They wait. Compromise. And when you compromise too much, this is what I have said. Don't compromise here, please. Don't. Ask your government. We have the example. In Pakistan, you compromise with these people. They say, oh, they are very weak people, so they have done it, taken up a beautiful valley of Pakistan, and destroyed all the trees, lots of fruit and everything. And then army has to take up. Now, those are Pakistani Taliban I'm talking about, not Afghanis and occupying in Pakistan, no. So we are fighting till today against our own, these Talibans. And it is called TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. So we are fighting, our army is fighting against those Taliban. So this is how it is.
Thank you, Father. Yes. So maybe, so that we don't finish with the question on jihad, I would just like to ask the last question, a short one. What would the Christians of Pakistan maybe give us as a message to the Christians living here in Europe? Because we also have our own persecution, so to say, of a very different kind. But there is some suffering of Christians also here. One more time, very different. But what would maybe be a message of Pakistanis for us?
Oh, it's a very difficult question here, I tell you. The message first of all, yes, pray for us, yeah, for Pakistan. And also, I assure you of my prayers here, living in this country. And as I said, you don't have to be scared of anybody else. Only hold it. Hold your faith as strongly as possible. That's only what I can say. And if you are true that you're holding your faith, nobody can disturb you. And don't get disturbed by that, you know. And also the Christians, as I said, I don't want to boast, but if I am going to boast, I'm going to boast in Jesus Christ. It's that. Now we have to follow Him. Of course, difficulties are there, and the families also. Like our families also have difficulties. We're trying to the joint family system. We have joint family system. There are difficulties within the families. The Christians are trying to support them, trying to guide them. And so I would like to say, just pray. And we look forward, and look towards the countries like you here. And not only Christians, I tell you one thing, we don't agree. They always, something happens, for example, in America or here, somebody has desecrated the name of Muhammad or desecrated their Bible, which has happened. I forgot the name. The fellow was crazy. I don't know, burned the Quran or so, and he showed it on television. He's stupid. Why should he do it? Why should he? And he happens to be they say he's a pastor of a church. Why should he disturb like this? So I think, I feel that when it is happening outside, they already mix us up with the Christians of Europe, of America, still very much in their mind. So we try to tell them, not defend it, tell them, you go, and when I have been going so many times, there are plenty of Muslims gone from Pakistan. There are hardly any Christian. We don't have money, we can't do business, nothing, and we don't get the visa. I mean, our people I'm talking about, they are all refused. We send them a letter, we give them a letter. She is Catholic, a family, but most of them are refused. I said they are not related to us. Yeah, in Jesus Christ, yeah, we are all Christians. But that, you understand what I'm trying to say? They think that, we got to, or when he does that burning, then we are to be blamed in Pakistan. And they have threatened us also, and they also attacked our churches also. Why? We have nothing to do with that gentleman. Let me call it gentleman who was burning them. Why should he does in America? And then we'll end up unnecessarily because we are Christians. They say, they are Christians, that they may be, God bless them. So this is how it is. So my message is, let's be strong in our faith. And I would like to pray for you and for your country and for your families. God bless you all. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Takže ďakujeme.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Takže veľká vďaka aj vám za vašu
So thank you all for your attention, that you found your time. Although it's Saturday, I hope that it was a nice end of this week. I would like to thank you for the organizers. So one big applause for the whole week.
We are clapping for those organizations.
Yeah.
I also would like to thank them. How to call fellowship?
Yeah. Fellowship of Ladislav Hanus.
Yeah,
yes.
Please, big hand for them for nice gathering here. Give them a big clap, please.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to thank my friends, both the friends from Aid to the Church in Need who are here, who made it possible that I could see your country. As I said before, beautiful country and beautiful people. I am going to say Mass tomorrow, and then we are going back, and Monday I'm going back to Pakistan. Please, a big clap for them because they are very much with us in our struggle. And you help them, you give your donations. Donations come to Pakistan, and we try to put up our community together and boost up their faith, And, with your help, it's happening. God bless you all. A big clap for them also and for this letter. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Takže možno ešte, aby ste neodchádzali s takým pocitom, že neviete, ako pomôcť. Tak pozvem teraz nášho pána riaditeľa,
that you don't know how to help, so please now the director of ACN can come here and tell a few words about this foundation and the means how we can help suffering Christians in Pakistan and elsewhere in the world. Here you are.
Dobrý večer.
Good evening.
V prvom rade veľká vďaka,
First of all, big thanks
ste nás tu prijali a že ste prijali Pátra Maniho na vašich slávnostiach.
At your event.
Veľmi si to vážime, lebo v podstate tým pomáhať. Dostali sme možnosť naplniť jednu z našich misií, a to je informovať verejnosť na Slovensku o tom, čo sa deje vo svete. Je to
what is happening here
in
the world, and it's very important.
Možno, že veľa z vás doteraz nevedelo napríklad, čo sa deje v Pakistane. Teraz vás budem považovať za takých ambasádorov medzi Slovákmi. Budete si vedieť predstaviť, ako žijú kresťania, ale teda všeobecne všetci ľudia v Pakistane, je ich 220 miliónov, čiže to je obrovský národ. Ja som to potom v hlave prepočítaval, potom kalkulačku na telefóne, že koľko sú tie 3%
calculating it on my mobile phone, and it's 6.6 million Christians in Pakistan, so it's almost the whole Slovakia.
Pátra Maniho sme sem pozvali
was
aj teda do Košíc, ale po celom Slovensku sme chodili s ním celý týždeň, aby dával také lekcie
we were touring with him
aby hovoril, robil
in Slovakia, so he was talking about Pakistan.
V rámci týždňa pomoci prenasledovaným kresťanom je to taká veľká akcia, ktorú
for suffering Christians, which is organized by the ACN, and this is the first issue or edition of this kind of week. So this event, the topic was situated to November because it's the 30th anniversary of our freedom.
Kedy sme sa zbavili strachu.
When we got rid of the fear to talk about our faith publicly. So we are very happy that you came, that you listened to Father Mani. And if you would like to know something more about us, about ACN, so please visit our internet website, acn.slovensko.org, and we have different projects there published, how we support persecuted Christians, and we would like to invite more guests from other countries. There are 144 countries where the Christians in different levels are persecuted or discriminated. So this portfolio is very wide.
Tak ako som povedal.
And as I said it,
To je asi odo mňa všetko. Ja vám ďakujem.
So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the organizers, for a great event. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Okay, yes, I will. Yeah, I will. Yeah, one of our friends went missing, and I'm going to pray for him, and also especially for all of you, for your families. I'll say it in my own language. First of all, that you can, we'll say Our Father, in your own language. I'll say in my language. Then we will put, this group who's organized everything together, thanks to them. Hail Mary. So Our Father, once you finish that, I will join with you, Hail Mary, and then I'll give you the blessing. Okay? Yes. Our Father, who art in heaven, हमारे बाप तू जो आसमान पर है, तेरा नाम पाक माना जाए, तेरी बादशाह, तेरी मर्जी जैसी आसमान पर पूरी जमीन पर भी, हमारे रोज की रोटी आज हमें दे, और जिस हम अपने कर्जदारों को बख्शते हैं, तू हमारे कर्ज हमें बख्श, और हमें आजमाइश में न पड़ने दे, बल्कि बुराई से बचा। आमीन। हेल मेरी सलाम है मरियम, और फजल खुदावंद तेरे साथ है, तो और तुम्हें मुबारक है तेरे पेट का फल यीशु। ऐ मुकद्दसा मरियम, खुदा की माँ, हम गुनहगार के वास्ते दुआ कर, अब और हमारी मौत के वक्त। आमीन। और खुदावंद आपको बरकत दे। एवरीबडी सेज आमेन।
आमेन।
आमेन। खुदावंद आपकी हिफाजत करे। आमेन। खुदावंद आपके घरानों को बरकत दे। आमीन। खुदावंद आपके मुल्क को बरकत दे। आमीन। और खुदावंद अपने उस भाई को जल्द से जल्द वापस आए। आमीन। और काद मतलब खुदा बाप और बेटे और रूह कुदूस की बरकत आप सब पर नाज़िल हो। आमीन। Thank you once again. God bless you all.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne. A keďže je toto posledný deň, tak by sme vás možno chceli ešte poprosiť o trpezlivosť. Ak máte ešte chvíľku čas, radi by sme sa s vami podelili možno s takým zhrnutím festivalu, čo sme tu všetko zažili. Nebude to trvať veľmi dlho, nemusíte sa báť, ale by vás to zaujímalo, tak sa radi s vami podelíme možno nejaké highlighty, nejaké naše radosti a možno si ukážeme zo pár fotiek.